Hi, I thought it was time to make a bit of a video about sleep. 10 top tips about sleep. When I was very sick with psoriatic arthritis and trying to get rid of all my autoimmunity, I found that I couldn't sleep. You're just sleeping fitfully here and there, a few minutes here and there, an hour maybe. And this is very common when you're ill. So I started to look around for all kinds of tips, and I tried many things. Some were kind of effective, some weren't. Linked below this video is a blog post that I did with I think 23, 24, something like that, tips. But here's the top 10 that I thought would be worth mentioning on a video. The number one thing that helped me was cutting the blue light in the evening. And I'm going to go a few tips on this. And number one is the shades. Wearing blue blocking shades, keeping the blue light out of the blue spectrum light out of your eyes at night. The first time I tried this, when I couldn't sleep at all, I suddenly slept 11 hours straight that night. My body must have needed it so much. It was a revelation, and I think pretty much every evening since then I've worn them. So there's all kinds you can get. You can get cheap ones online, you can get cheap ones from Amazon and whatever, and some of them are okay, but it's a bit hit and miss, and you do tend to look like a welder that's forgotten to take his goggles off if you go out. So get some nice ones. These are great. These are by Matt Maruca, my friend Matt Maruca at Raw Optics, and there's a link below to get these, and if you quote a code PureAct when you go to the checkout, you get 10% off, so that's not bad. But I like these. Matt sent me these very quickly, a very good service from the States, and they're optically very good. You can wear them out and about, and you know that they're blocking exactly the right frequencies. Very important in the evening. Okay, second tip is change the lighting in your house. If you've got strip lighting, or if you've got these awful LED things, we've got these awful ones in here, but we don't use them. So what we do in the evening is just put some candles on. Yeah, we do these so that the kids don't set fire to the place and burn the place down, and they love it. It's nice to have the candles on in the evening. It's a really nice atmosphere. Also, change the bulbs. Upstairs we use these guys. Just, you know, the old incandescent ones. They don't sell them much in shops these days. They sell all the awful ones. But they're a fire glow. They're okay for upstairs or downstairs, you know, with lamps around. We have them upstairs, and it looks a bit dark from the outside because it's like a red glow, and I suppose there's always the danger of people knocking on the door for sexual favours, but that's better than a tumour, I suppose. So yeah, orange bulbs, red bulbs. Oh, I tell you what, there's another little thing that a friend bought me this as a joke for Christmas. Like, it's a light that sort of, I think it's supposed to go over the edge of the toilet or something, and lights up when you go in there. But it's a motion sensor, but you can set it to just red, just one single red LED, and it's very dim. And we hang it over a pipe in the bathroom, and you can just walk in, it turns it on, so that at night you don't get that blue light in your eyes. So they're great little devices. I think they're very cheap, just a couple of quid, couple of dollars or whatever on Amazon, and yeah, you can go to the bathroom without any problems and blasting your eyes again. Because, you know, if you have just a little bit too much blue light at night, even just a little blast of it, it can kind of reset that melatonin cycle and tell you that it's morning, and so not good. Okay, the third tip is Iris. Iris Tech. It's a program for the computer. Download it and see what a difference it makes. A lot of people are using Flux or Flux or however you pronounce it, and I was using that for ages, but then I saw about Iris and I put it in only quite recently actually, but I do a lot of proofreading. I'm sitting there at the computer a lot in the day, and you can switch between different modes, and it also deals with flicker as well, which Flux doesn't. Really good. I can't recommend that enough. It's been brilliant. So yeah, get that. There's a link also below in the description to Iris Tech to go and get that for your computer. I think you can also put it on iPhones and iPads and whatever, but all the details are on the website. Fourth tip, morning sun. This is so important. Go out and see the sunrise. Get your feet on the ground, get grounded as well. But first thing I do every day, it doesn't matter if it's sunny, if it's warm, if it's raining. Like today, there's snow outside. I went out and walked around in the snow. Bare feet. Just get the sun in your eyes, the morning sun, even if it's through the cloud, you know, the best you can do, because melatonin doesn't get triggered at night unless it's produced in the day. It's the morning sun that allows the production of melatonin. If you haven't got any at night, however many shades you wear and whatever, it's not really going to make a lot of difference. So light in the eyes in the morning, very important. Fifth tip, turn off all devices. If you can, just hit the circuit breaker for upstairs. Get rid of everything at night. You know, nice dark bedroom, not too hot, and turn off all the devices. You don't want little lights, you don't want alarm clocks with blue light on the front. You don't want your phone next to the bed. Turn this off too. Get it on airplane mode. I have it next to the bed, but it's on airplane mode, and if I want to look at the time, I actually put these on first before I look at the time, even though the brightness is right down and it's on night shift on the iPhone. But if you're one of these people who say, I absolutely have to have it next to me for emergencies or for an alarm in the morning if you have to, but you know, if you've got a relative or something who you always need to be in touch with, just put it in the bathroom. If you've got an ensuite, put it the other side of the door, leave the door open a little bit, something like that. Just get it out of the bedroom. Yeah. Okay. The sixth tip, sleep grounded. Now, this can cause problems, actually. I thought it was real simple, and we just got grounding mats, you know, these earthing sheets that you can buy for the bed with little silver filaments running through it. And then that goes into the earth pin of the household main supply. Well, that's pretty useless because you're actually putting electricity back into you. And I used to wonder why it wasn't really working. And I used to get a lot of palpitations, which is one of the signs, I think, that you're getting a little bit electrically charged. So definitely find a way to sleep grounded safely. In a lot of areas, if the ground isn't too bad outside, it's not too built up and full of electricity coming from other houses and God knows where, you can run a cord out of the window, push a copper rod into the ground outside. So do that if you're going to sleep grounded. If in doubt, test it with a meter. But if you can, the ground, I mean, outside, to see if it's if there's any sort of dirty electricity flying around there. But if you can find a way to sleep grounded, it really makes a difference. And if you can't, and you have a bit of money, there's things called magnetico pads. You know, people use those. I've not used them, but I've heard great reports. It might be worth looking at. Tip 7, don't eat too late at night. Now, don't eat within a couple of hours of bedtime. Everybody says, I prefer not to eat within 6 hours. You know, when you're on a low-carb, high-fat diet, it's very easy not to eat every 5 minutes like you do when you're a sugar monster. And if you eat carbs at night, it actually sort of explodes in the stomach as light. So, blue light. So, you know, get a nice carby meal that at least might be kind of red light in the stomach. So, a nice low carby meal, I mean. So, particularly if you have autoimmunity, I think it's very important to go go to bed with an empty stomach. Don't go to bed full up. It definitely triggers immune responses if you do that. And even in somebody who isn't really noticing it, the sleep won't be so good. So don't eat close to bedtime at all. Tip 8 is a really nice one, easy one. And the only one I'll be talking about that's any sort of supplement or anything. Magnesium. I used to take a lot of magnesium malate when I couldn't sleep, and very good. If you need it, Epsom salt baths, because magnesium goes in through the skin. It's a very nice way to sleep. Yeah, this is good. If you can make it a cold Epsom salt bath, even better. Get a bit of cold thermogenesis in. This is also very good for sleeping. Okay, tip 9 is one that I've only discovered recently, and again, I link to this in the blog post. It's incline bed therapy. This means raising the bed to about 5 degrees, I think, so that your head is higher. It's raised up like on a couple of bricks, or sort of 6 inches at the head end. It feels a bit weird for the first night, maybe, but after a while you just get so used to it, don't even notice it anymore. And there's definitely some different quality to the sleep. Sleep is better, deeper. I find I don't turn over so much. I used to wake up and then you'd think, all right, I have to turn over. This way I don't. I mean, I'm only guessing. Could that be something to do with the lymphatic system moving a bit better? I don't know. But there's a big PDF linked in the blog post in the description of the video. Check that out, because it's really quite interesting. I'm not altogether experienced on this, but I've been doing it for a few months now, and it's definitely something that I'm going to keep doing. Now, number 10 is don't panic if you wake up. We're always conditioned to think we have to sleep 8 hours straight. And so we wake up and we go, oh, I can't sleep. Oh, I've got to sleep. I've got to sleep. I've got to sleep. Oh, no, only another hour till the alarm clock goes off. You know, all these thoughts. Well, I think the best time to sleep is between about 10 and 2, the old Ayurvedic time. But this is the time when the body seems to repair itself the best, and the best quality of sleep occurs. But if you wake up, say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, don't worry. If you can't get back to sleep, get up. Put the shades back on. Go and watch a film. I do. I think it's a very peaceful time of night without the kids around. And once the eyes start getting a little heavy again, you start getting drowsy, go back to bed. You'll find your sleep much easier. The key to this is not thinking of sleep as one block of 8 hours. Think of sleep as cycles of about an hour and a half. You'll find out what your time is. Mine is about an hour 20. I think it varies between about an hour 20 and an hour 40, the cycle of REM sleep and deep sleep and whatever, the cycles that you go through during those 90 minutes or so. But if you can get, so I usually get three cycles if I'm not disturbed by one of my kids waking up. I'll get 3 cycles of 1.5, 1 hour 20, and then I'll get up. I might be up for an hour, might be up for 2 hours, might watch a film with the shades on, might go back to bed. Oh, and also one thing that I forgot in the tip number 3 of getting iris on your computer. If you're watching any screen, there are also receptors in the skin. So particularly get your thyroid covered up, particularly women, get your thyroid covered up. If you're watching television, if you're in blue light, even in the daytime if you're in front of screens. And another good idea we have is we have a screen on the front of the television. You can get them, these sort of rubbery kind of perspexy, I'm not sure what the material is, but it's good. It's optically pretty good, and you put it over the front of the TV and it cuts out the blue. Now the kids have gone to bed far easier since we've done this. It's been quite a revelation. So those couple of things I forgot from before. But anyway, so get up, be protected against any blue light you might turn on, and watch a film, go for a walk. Old cultures used to do this. They used to sleep biphasic. They'd get up in the middle of the night, they'd make love, they'd tell stories, they'd hang out, and then go back to sleep again. Perfectly natural. So don't panic if you do wake up. Go back to bed, get another couple of cycles in of 1.5 or whatever your cycle length is, and then you'll find that you'll have something like 7 to 8 hours, depending on what your particular body likes in total, but split up once. So if you don't sleep a full 8 hours all in one stretch, don't panic. That's the best way not to get back to sleep. So anyway, I think that's covered it. Have a look at the links below in the description, and they might be useful. And I shall think of something else to talk about next month. Speak to you soon.